Good afternoon. There is no greater fan of a work of fiction than its creator, but sometimes the work is not quite as fond of its creator, especially when that creator is caught up not only in his own work, but also in the Twilight Zone. Visit your local bookstore and purchase a copy of the latest novel by Mr. Vincent Sorel, a writer of gruesome mystery stories. Mr. Sorel happily boasts of how intricately he has built the world of his books, down to the smallest detail. He knows every facet and aspect of his work, which he happily transcribes for people to enjoy. After a lecture session at a college where he mocks a young man for nervously getting the title of one of his stories wrong, he angrily exclaims to a professor how he doesn't need fans of his work, just people as obsessed with the minutiae as he is, though he colors such people as connoisseurs. However, while walking home, he suddenly finds himself in a disheveled street, one very familiar to him, since it's right out of one of his books. Even the people around him refer to him as the main character of the work. He quickly assesses that this is no joke and is in fact in mortal peril, since the character he has taken the role of is put in a dangerous situation by the villain of the book. Fortunately, with his encyclopedic knowledge of his stories, he is able to effect an escape not just from his enemy, but back into the real world. Sorel believes that this was some sort of test of his knowledge, which makes him believe he passed with flying colors. His wife is supportive, even though Sorel is equally as verbally unkind about minor details as he was with the student, and it's clear she does not believe his story. That night, he's brought into another story and just manages to evade death at the hands of another villain. But only just, since he had forgotten a few small details that still ensured that he would be injured. Realizing how out of practice he must be, he and his wife work on a massive study session of his work in case another test stops by. He continues to be verbally abusive to her despite her efforts to help, and she finally decides to leave him once he proclaims that he's ready for the next test. However, the test that comes is a rather unusual one. He arrives at a bus stop where he is accosted by several people, including a woman he's rude to, a little girl who sticks her lollipop on his sleeve, and a clown. He realizes he's being tested again, but while these people seem familiar to him, he recalls no book of his where all of these people showed up. It's only as the bus he's on keeps on going, eventually crossing into a terrible landscape, that he realizes what this is. These are people he hated as a child. People that he wrote a story about. A story where they were all put on a bus to hell. Epilogue for Mr. Vincent Sorel, the man who shamed and attacked others who admired and loved his work, but not as much as he did. Now he has all of eternity to relearn all the things he forgot in a quiet, hellish little corner of the Twilight Zone.